Today we're going to be giving this DIY lantern a fall makeover. Do you like holiday decor on a budget? Then consider looking around at your existing decor and see if today's video will inspire a quick and very budget-friendly fall makeover with the items you already have. Also, be sure to stick around until the end where I'll be sharing not one, not two, not three, but 4 tips for you to consider when crafting that will not only make your decor pieces more functional, but will also save you time and money in future projects. And without any further ado, let's get started. In today's project, I'll be using this lantern I made a few months ago in my DIY Dollar Tree Decor Episode 2 video. I'll be sure to link that project below in the description box. Once I emptied out my lantern, I used my acrylic apple barrel paint in the color Caramel Candy to paint all of my trim, the body texture, and handle. Since I had originally used a copper rose color for the accents, it was fairly easy to cover the original color with just one quick coat. Then I added some of the same color to the top portion of the lantern. I did start to get a little out of hand, but like I've said before, perfection is overrated, and it was nothing that a little paint can't fix. In fact, it was around this time that I decided I was going to cover the bottom and most of the top with the caramel candy color to give it a more rich fall color vibe. And at the last minute, I painted the very top portion too, but once I stepped back and I took a look at it, I felt like I needed to paint that portion white again for some contrast. Before painting it white, I removed the handle from the top portion of the lantern, then I painted it using my bare white chalk paint. Once my paint dried, I took some nautical rope and added a second piece to my existing layer to create a smoother transition between the white and caramel candy color. This also added a more natural element to the piece, which I felt was perfect for that fall feeling I was going for. I'm curious to know, what are your favorite fall colors and what pieces of decor are you looking forward to decorating your home, room, or office space with? Let me know in the comment section below. Next, I used more of the nautical rope to create a new handle for the top of the lantern. I felt this handle would be much better than the original one because it had a more natural look and feel, which would go perfectly with the final decorative pieces that I was going to be adding to it at the end. I also added some of the same nautical rope to the bottom to tie both the bottom and top together, and I think it really ended up elevating the look in the end. What do you think? I used a Luau Skirt from the Dollar Tree to stuff the inside of my lantern to make it look like I had some straw inside, then used some of the fall garland and pumpkin filler picks that I had also previously purchased from the Dollar Tree. Now, I really like the colors on the pumpkins, so I didn't paint them this time, but I did remove the stems they had and use some of the scrap nautical rope to create a trunk for my pumpkins. I simply unraveled the scrap rope, glued the piece inside a hole I made on the top of the pumpkin, and that was it. I promised you 4 tips, and here they are. Tip number 1, start with the end in mind. When I originally did this project, I actually attached the top of the lantern to the body of the lantern, and unfortunately that just left me with a really small hole to work with, so I couldn't put any other larger items into the lantern, and had I really thought about it from the beginning, I would have definitely kept the top of the lantern detached from the body of it. So make sure that you consider the overall functionality, because you may not need it now, but it's something that you may want to consider for later use. Now, tip number 2, use what you have. You'd be surprised what you can make with the things that you already have in your house. I'm currently working on something now that I am looking forward to sharing for a Halloween project, and it'll show you that you can use just about anything to make something beautiful. Or in that case, maybe a little weird. You can also check out my concrete planter project where I use a protein mix container and Amazon packaging to make a beautiful concrete planter. Tip number 3, don't be afraid to take what you already have, take it apart, and paint it a different color. Oftentimes we get tired of the decor that we have in our home and we end up donating it, or even worse, throwing it away. So what do you really have to lose? Now, tip number 4, and this is the most important one, be kind to yourself. Perfection is extremely overrated and honestly takes way too much time. Just go with the flow, see what you like, and in the end, I promise you, it's gonna be okay. Worst case scenario is you grab some more paint, grab another stick of glue, and go at it again. So just have fun with it. Allow yourself this opportunity to just let your inner child run free and wild with imagination. Now, YouTube has made some video suggestions that I invite you to look at right over here. And if you enjoy seeing content like this, I invite you to hit that subscribe button and notification bell below so that you don't miss any of my next videos. And until the next one, bye.